propagating a little bit of propagation, a little bit of propagation, a little bit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, a little bit of propagation. Ooh. All right, there we go. Come on now. Come on now. Let's see. Come on. There we go. We are live. Audio works. All the systems are optimal. Yes. We live on X. Yes, we are live on X. Are we live on Twitch? Yes, we are live on Twitch. Yes, sir. All right. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. Let's see what we got going on here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we got going on here. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's get all the announcements up. All the announcements. All the announcement days. All right. Let's see here. Boom. Right there. Get all the announcements up and ready to go. Boom. Okay. Boom. Boom. All right. Boom. Right there. Boom. Right there. All right. Okay. All right. That's set up over there. Boom. Get this ready. Bop. Right there. And bop right there. Boom. Ooh. Ooh. Wee. All right. Get that set up there. Get that set up. Boom. Get this set up over here. All right. We should be looking good, ladies and gentlemen. All right. All right. All right. Let's get this intro started. Me. Yes, okay. All right. What's up, guys? It's Double Nix, and welcome to another episode of Microcap Mornings. I am your host with the most. They call me DBL Nix in the house, a.k.a. the Rainmaker. And I am here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to regular ski. Sometimes she likes to get shot out the cannon and she goes wee. Other times she likes to go to Arby's and watch videos of puppies and kitties. Other times she goes out and she finds them ABCDs. Other times she likes to steal my low mean. She did call some wonderful stonks like WOK, AXIL, and ATPC. We call her DBL Moms. Hey! All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. It's a wonderful, beautiful Thursday. It's a wonderful, beautiful day on God's green earth. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. So hope you guys are doing well. I'm feeling blessed. I'm doing good. And I hope you guys are as well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So, yeah, let's get everything all set up here. Bop right there. Get this over here. Bop right there. Aha. All right. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It just to ring that bell. Ring. No. We are going to ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started with some stonks here. We called ATPC. All right, let me get that all set up over here. We called ATPC early this morning. Bobo Beebs! Welcome back, Bobo. I hope you're doing good. He says, howdy. I had to take some time off, break, had a few bad habits, and now I'm back. Let's get our entertaining information on. Yes, sir, Bobo. Well, we're glad to have you back. We hope you're okay. We hope you're doing well, and we hope you only get better. Yes, sir, Bobo. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. All right. And yeah. And a happy belated Thanksgiving. Bobo. There we go. All right. So we called ATPC early this morning for our pre-market Discord. Yeesh. For our pre-market Discord. All right. And Vertical Trading, thank you for reposting the stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. We called ATPC early this morning for our pre-market Discord. We called it early this morning for our pre-market Discord prior to its run up 185%. 185%. Yeesh. So we got that going on as well. We got that going on right there. Hold on just a second. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99 to join the community. Link to join us in the description down below as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out for the 4-day trial. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so as of now, that's what we got going on. That's what we got going on, folks. That's what we got going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is what we have going on here. All right, we also called WOK. WOK called that one as well. That one ran up a nice 54%. 54%. And then over here it says AXIL ran up 185%. 185. All right. Let's see. Let's make sure we got everything all set up here. Bop. Okay, good. All right. AXIL. Yeah, AXIL ran up apparently a nice 185%. Yeah, yes it did. Yes indeed. Yes indeed. All right. So AXIL, we called this one actually at 4:13 a.m. and it ran up a nice 185%. We called this one for our pre-market Discord as well. So AXIL, just wanted to actually double check the time. All right, AXIL called this one at, what was it, 4:13 a.m. 4:13 a.m. for the private Discord prior to its run up 185% right there, ladies and gentlemen. 185%. All right. So yeah, be sure to check out our Discord. For the first 4 days, you get a trial for only $9.99. $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check it out. We pick a lot of bangers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash. And you can check out our private Discord by clicking that link down below as well as in the pinned comment section. All right. Hold on. There we go. Boom. There we go. All set up there. So that's what we got going on. We called ATPC, which ran up 185%, WOK 54%, and AXIL 185% right there. So that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. Yeah. We are chilling. All right, let's take a look over here. Let's take a look at some stonks here. Let's take a look at RDI. RDI. Ready? All right. So that's what we got going on there. Yes, sir. All right. And Vic Stream, thank you for the follow. Thank you for that follow, buddy. All right. So let's see here. RDI, we called this one early as well. We actually called this one a little while back. But here you go over here. Bop right there. You got RDI kind of on a downtrend a little bit. Kind of on a bit of a downtrend right here. This stock is just below the VWAP on a bit of a downtrend here. Not looking too schmexy as of now. Down 5%, down 5%. Not looking too schmexy. Was a bit oversold on the RSI. Not looking too good in terms of that right there. RDI was up before. I'm wondering if this was a reverse split or something like that, because it went up immediately to like apparently 87%, and then all of a sudden went back down. So it's kind of one of those stocks that I don't really trust too much. I don't really trust this one. Form 8 was released yesterday, but other than that, they did hold an annual stockholders meeting. So, not feeling too schmexy about this one. Not looking too schmexy. RDI needs some volume to break that downtrend. RDI needs volume to break the downtrend for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. There we go. All right. What else do we have? We also have WOK. Let me see. Actually, let's check out ATPC. ATPC did have a nice run earlier in the day. Had a nice run earlier in the day, right over Mya. As a matter of fact, it went up right here into a nice A to B, B to C, C to D, right there. All right, and then kind of just went on back down, bop, right there, and created a bit of a pennant, and then curled its way back up, curled its way all the way up over here, all right, and then made another pennant right over here, bop, right there, and then basically just consolidated below the VWAP, went down a little bit more, and basically since then it's kind of consolidated below the VWAP. But ATPC had a nice run, up 185%, had a nice movement. It did what it did, and that was that. All right, so that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on over there. So, yeah, we're just chilling right now, just chilling. So, as of now, ATPC has been leaning towards being a bit oversold over here. Kind of moved all the way up. Nearly was not really. It was closer to being overbought over here, and then kind of just consolidated along the RSI. So it's relatively indifferent on the RSI, but it needs volume to break that VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to me, because right now it's basically just on that 185% run. That's what it had, and now it's only up 93%, so it's going to need some serious volume for it to curl. All right, let's take a look at the float. Let's take a look at the float over here. Actually, I can take a look at the float on over here on our other scanner over here. So the float is 49 million, volume is 291 million. So it has the volume, it has the numbers in volume, but it does need more volume for it to somewhat be schmexy to me, because right now it's kind of just consolidated below the VWAP. So to break the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let's get a share party going, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 200. Let's get to 200, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Come on. All right. Let's take a look at BTTC. BTTC. All right, price spike. Had a bit of a price spike going on here. Actually, no, more of an uptrend than the price spike. Price spikes are normally like straight up. All right, so it did have a movement upward over here. It is on a bit of an uptrend over here. Let's take a look at the float. Float is 4 million, relatively reasonable. Volume is 1 million, so it is moving up on some low volume over here. Up 95%. BTTC up 95%. And moving its way on up. We did call this stock a bit earlier. We called it at 70%. 70% right there. Actually, let me make sure that was all we called it at. Let me see. BTTC. Yes, we called this stock at 70%. And it is currently moving its way on up. Moving and grooving and grooving and moving. All right, BTTC now has a volume of 2 million. Kind of starting to creep up on that float. We'll see what happens here. We're going to see what happens. So it is climbing slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. It is climbing its way on up. 98%. There we go. 101%. There we go. New bagger. New bagger. There we go. Give me that. Give me that, baby. Give me that. Give me that. All right. Give me that right there. Give me that. Give me that pen. Give me that pen. 111%. 112%. There we go. 112%. There we go. What we learned? What we learned? Yes, sir. Can't nobody do it like us. Can't nobody do it like us. Yes, sir. There we go. Yeesh. 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 All right. Yeesh. It's still climbing, by the way, a little bit. Still climbing. Still climbing. All right, do its thing. It's going to do its thing. BTTC, BTTC, BTTC. New bagger up 113%. Called it, baby. Called it. Yeesh. All right. Yeesh. All right. There we go. Called that one, ladies and gentlemen. BTTC new bagger up 113%. 113% right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. All right. All right. But right now it's starting to pull back a little bit because it is a bit overbought on the RSI. Wait. It's curling back up. It's curling back up. 112%. Up. Right there. 114. 114. Broke that high. There we go. That's what I like to see. Come on now. Come on. Up. Don't tease me like that. Don't play with my feelings. All right. I sounded a little cuckoo crazy there for a second. But that was kind of good though, huh? Yeah. Told you. Called that stonk earlier this morning. At around 70%. And then it just shot up just now to a nice 100% right there. Shot up to a nice 100%. 115%, actually. 115. 115. Call me Dr. Doubles. Call me the Dr. Doubles right there. PhD in Bangernomics from BBC, Big Bang College. All right? And they got the Coachmeister General. The Coachmeister General got his degree from BUU, Bang U University. BUU. Yeesh. So we got that going on right there. Up. It's got to break that little descending wedge, though. It looks like it's trying to curl off that descending wedge, though. We'll see what happens here. Does it continue to curl up? BTTC. Does it continue to curl up? BTTC. Trying to curl back up off the descending wedge. It's trying to curl its way back up a little bit. We'll see what happens here. Currently trying to curl its way back up. 109%. There we go. Come on now. You got it. You got that dog in you. Come on now. BTTC, 5 million volume. The volume has now exceeded the float. It's looking schmexy. Come on now. It's got support at $6.38. Resistance at $7.35. Let's see it. Come on now. Come on. Has to hold above $6.38. Has to break through $7.35. Up. Can it? It's kind of falling downward now. I mean, it was a bit overbought on the RSI. So, yeah, it makes sense. It tracks. If it does continue moving, we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. But for now, honestly, all right, BTTC. Let's see what you do later. We'll see what you do later. All right, right now it's trying to take a bit of a resty poo. So you know what, we're gonna give it some time to resty poo, recuperate, and then curl back up. Maybe. We'll see what happens. Maybe. Yes, sir. All right. So as of now, wait, is it trying? Man, BTTC is playing with my feelings. All right. Bottom tail green. Bottom tail. There we go. 121. 121. Smacking that $7.35 resistance. 121%. Oh, I mean, yes. I mean, it was a bagger before, but yeesh. Baggernomics from Big Bang College, BBC. Yeesh. BBC. Yes, sir. Fuego. New high, baby. New high. All right, BTTC new high. Yes, sir.
Is it gonna pump and pump?
It's testing it. 124. 124 new high, baby. New high. 124.
Come on, fella.
There we go. Yes, sir. 128. 130. There we go. 133. 133. 136.
Oh my.
Yes.
Oh my.
136.
Oh my.
Ooh! Up 136%, baby. Yeesh. Yeesh right there. Yeesh. All right. All right. Up 145, 148, 151, 152, 152. Oh, 169, 174, 174, 184. Look at that. 191. 191, baby.
Let's go.
Yeesh.
Let's go.
191. Oh my. Yes, sir. Ooh, 191%. We called that, baby. We called that.
Bangernomics, baby.
Bangernomics. I call that the DBL effect. Yeesh. Yeesh right there. Yeesh. Oh my. All right. BTTC shot up to 191%. BTTC shot up to 191%. Called it, baby.
Bangernomics, baby. Bangers.
Yeesh. Yeesh. Got them straight stacks, baby. Straight stacks right there. Yes, sir. Because can't nobody do it like us, man. Can't nobody do it like us. They can't. You can't mimic that. You either are born with that or you're not born with that. You know what I mean? There we go. Woo! It looks like it's trying to curl up some more. It's trying to test that little resistance line right near the lovely $9.14 mark. So can it break through? Can it break through? Let's see if it can break through. I hope it can. That'd be great. That'd be very nice. 1 second. Let me get some water in me. Let me get some water in me, ladies and gentlemen. All that excitement got me thirsty. All right. Ooh. Ooh. All right. Whee! All right. There we go. Look at that, man. Oh.
Bangernomics, baby.
Bangernomics, baby. Come on now. It's breaking through. It's breaking through that little resistance area right there. That little resistance. Come on. Come on now. Come on now. Don't be shy. Don't be shy, BTTC. Don't be shy.
Come on now, critter.
Come on now. You got to break above that little resistance. That little feast de resistance has to hold above 829. Break through this little line over here at 914. And then break through this other line at 985. Has to break through that line, baby. Has to break through the resistance. Yes, BTTC needs to break the resistance for it to continue to be schmexy to me. BTTC needs to break the resistance lines for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. Hold on 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. Let's get a share party going, by the way. Let's get the 400. 400, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Somebody asked for what stock again?
BNKK.
BNKK. All right. Let's take a look at BNKK. All right. BNKK right now, as of now, not looking too schmexy here because it does have it is below the VWAP right over here. VWAP is at $4.66. This stonk is very, very indecisive with its wicks. A lot of low volume indication over here. Not looking too schmexy as of now. Needs to break above this VWAP over here for it to be somewhat schmexy to me, but it is solidly below the VWAP right now. Below the VWAP. A lot of indecisive wicks, low volume. Needs some volume for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Is up 11% as of now. Does it have a float in volume? Let's see about the float. The float is 170 million, so it is very, very high as of now. 170.3 million. Volume is 18.5 million. So as of now, not looking too good. Very heavy float, very light on the volume. Not looking too schmexy. Needs some serious. Let me get to the 5 minute. Let me put it to the 5 minute. 5 minute. All right, let's see what we got here. And yep, still a lot of indecisive wicks over here. So as of now, BNKK needs a lot of volume. BNKK needs volume and indecisive wicks and needs to break the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. All right, so we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on as of now. Let's take a look at another stonk here. How about we take a look at AXIL? See how AXIL is doing. AXIL currently now up 80%. It looks like it had a bit of a head and shoulders pattern forming. A little bit of a head and shoulders pattern that kind of formed a little bit over here. Let's take a look over here. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Had a bit of a shoulder. Bop right there. A little bit of a head. Bop right there. And a little bit of a shoulder right around meow. Right? So had that going on. Has since kind of gone down. But if it could curl back up and break through this little downtrend, that'd be great. AXIL did have a nice run earlier in the day, up 185%. It did have a very good run, but that was then. This is now. You know what I mean? So I know you had a nice run, AXIL. Know you had a nice run up 185%. But what have you done for me lately? Ladies and gentlemen? What has this thing done for me lately? AXIL needs volume to break the head and shoulders pattern and the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. All right, so we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. Let's take a look at BTTC. How's BTTC doing? BTTC is curling its way back up 197%. Yes, sir. There we go. Come on now. 197%. It just hit that high. BTTC 197% right there. Oh my. 197% right there. New high. It hit a new high and then just casually went back down. It went back down. Why? Why you do that? Hold on. Hit that new high and then just went back down. Okay. I see you. I look away for 5 seconds. All of a sudden, you want to go up. All right. I live on the 5th floor, I say. You talk about 3. That's on me, baby. All right. But let's see over here. BTTC now hit a new high of 197%. Bless you, coach.
Thank you.
BTTC, new high of day. Up 197%. Go, baby. I look away from you for 5 seconds and you just moving. Okay. Has new support and resistance right over here. has support at the $9.36 mark, which is kind of falling below just a little bit, and has resistance at $11.24 right over here. Has to break above that $11.24 mark. And it has some news that came out that says Black Titan shares are trading higher after the company unveiled its digital asset treasury plus framework and launched Pillar 1 focused on utility-driven digital asset deployment and cash flow potential. So it's got that going on right there. That is what it's got going on right there. All right. There we are. So, as of now, it is now up 197% and testing that high, ladies and gentlemen. It's testing it. It's testing the 197 mark, and can it break through, man? Can it continue to go up even further? It's trying, man. It is trying. 201! 201. There we go. Up 201%, 207%. There we go. Come on now. BTTC. 207%. All right, 208% now. Oh my, it's climbing. It's climbing. Come on now, 208%. You know what? 208% right there. 208% right there. You know what? It's getting a little schmexy there. It's getting a lot of schmexy actually. BTC. Noisy, baby, noisy. All right, 208%. BTTC, 208%. New high of day. Yesh. Yesh. Yesh, 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 yesh. Called this one on our private Discord. Yesh. Yesh. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. James Vincent says, so buy now or wait till it breaks through. Well, I can't tell you that. I can't tell you all that because I'm not a stock advisor, so I couldn't tell you that. But as of now, it does have some support and resistance lines here. Has support at $9.36 over here. Has resistance at $11.24 over here. So that's what we got going on as far as support and resistance. But as far as whether to buy now or anything like that, can't really say anything to you about that stuff. So yeah, it's got that going on. But it does have news that Black Titan shares are trading higher after the company unveiled its digital asset treasury framework. Plus, it launched a Pillar 1 focused on utility-driven digital asset deployment and cash flow potential. Potential, ladies and gentlemen. Potential. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. And right now, it's trying to curl its way back up once again. Trying to curl up back once again. 211%. There we go. 214%. 218. 220. Yes. There we go. 220%. All right. Man. Wheel. 227%. There we go. 227. There we go. 227. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. BTTC up 227%. 227% right there. There we go. There we go. There we go. New high still flying. Yeah. Woo! All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. 227% right there. You know? There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So 227. 227, ladies and gentlemen. 230. 230. Yes, sir. There we go. 230% right there. 230%. Oh my. BTTC now up 230%. 230% right there. There we go. There we go, man. There we go. There we go. Up 230%. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Just saying. BTTC now shot up to 230% right there. Just made different, man. Called that one early in the morning. for the private Discord community. So be sure to check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a share party. Let's get to 700. Let's get to 700, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Come on now. It's going back up. 231. 231. 231. 234. 246. 246. 241. 242. 244. 247. There we go. Yes, sir. 247%. Look at this. Look at this. BTTC up 247%. We still flying right now. We still flying right now. Woo! Look at that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Oh my, all right. All right. Looks like it pulled back a little bit. All right, that's understandable. It is a bit overbought in the RSI, so it makes sense. Can it recover? We'll take a look. And see. But right now, it's got to hold above that 979 to be schmexy to me. You know what I mean? So that was nice right there. 247, 247%. Now that was crazy right there. That was craziness. That was madness right there. I love it. Yes, sir. Has to break above that $11.09 mark there for it to be so much schmexy to me. There we go. But other than that, you know what? I mean, it's looking good, man. It's looking good still. It's still looking good. So we'll see what goes on. Had a bit of a pullback there, a little bit of a pullback. So we'll see what happens. 9EMA is diverging away from the VWAP, so it is doing that. But can it continue to curl? Has to hold above that 979 mark. Has to hold above 979 for it to really be somewhat schmexy to me. Otherwise, not looking schmexy. But, it is currently holding above that 979 support line right there. Needs to break above it, man. Needs to break above that for it to be schmexy to me. Needs to prove its love to me. Needs to prove that love to me right now. Right? So as of now, it is currently up 1031, climbing up slowly. We'll see what happens, though. We shall see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. But that's what we got going on. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 800. Let's get to 800, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Let's get to 800. 800. Yes, sir. There we go. Blessed be. Yes, sir. Blessed be. All right, so we got ATPC, which is up 185%. That's how high it ran. Called WOK 54%. AXIL ran up 185%. BTTC 247%. So we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. So yeah. All right. So I'm gonna give BTTC a little break. I'm gonna let it recoup. All right. Rest and recoup. All right. We're gonna let it do its thing right there. We're gonna check out ATPC. ATPC as of now is moving down. So ATPC has to basically break this little downtrend over here for it to be so much schmexy to me. And then afterwards has to break that VWAP as well. It has a ways to go, ATPC. ATPC needs to break the downtrend for it to be so much schmexy to me right there. Let's take a look at BQ. BQ just popped up. Let's take a look. BQ is up. As of now, BQ is up 17%. Not looking too schmexy right now. Is below the VWAP. A lot of indecisive wicks. Not a lot of volume. Not looking schmexy to me. All right. Has a bit of a pennant that's formed right over here. Oh, there it goes. There it is. Has to break above that pennant. Also has to break above that VWAP. BQ's got a ways to go before it can even be remotely considered schmexy to me. All right, BQ. All right, BQ needs to break the pennant with volume and break that VWAP for it to be so much schmexy to me. for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see what else we got. All right. Let's take a look at AXIL. AXIL AXIL. AXIL. AXIL's pretty much consolidated right now. Consolidated right now just below the VWAP. Needs to curl. Needs some serious curlage. AXIL is really consolidated right now, so it's just doing its thing right there. AXIL. AXIL consolidated below the VWAP. Needs volume for it to be so much schmexy to meow. So that's what it's got going on right there. That is what it's got going on. Let's take a look at PETS. 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 Let's see how PETS is doing. PETS is moving up, actually. PETS is moving up. PETS float of 15 million, volume of 12 million, has unconfirmed Q1 earnings due in 12 days on Tuesday, December 23rd, after the market close. It is moving its way on up right now. It is moving and grooving and grooving and moving. So that's what it's got going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get some support and resistance lines over here. Let's get some support and resistance. Bop right here. And let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right. Boom and boom. All right. So we got support at $2.34. Resistance at 252. Has to break above 252 to get to 271, 293, and then 330. That's what it's really got to do right there. So it has to hold above 234 for it to really be somewhat schmexy to me. PETS was on a bit of an uptrend. Has to hold that support, though, at 234 for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. PETS right there. Ran up. Needs to hold the support line and remain friends with the trend. There we go. That's what we got going on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, all right, all right. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? What else we got, ladies and gentlemen? What else we got? Let me add them. Let me add them. GLXG. GLXG. Come on now. GLXG currently consolidated below the VWAP. Not looking too schmexy as of this time. GLXG needs to break the consolidation and the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Boom, right there. That's what it's got going on. Let's get a share party going on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the 900. 900, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the 900, 900, 900. Come on now. 900. Come on. Come on. All right. Let's take a look at CV. CV. Let's take a look. Indecisive wicks, not a lot of volume. CV. All right. CV. Not a lot of volume. Needs to break the VWAP. There we go. Boom. All right. Let's take a look at what else we got. What else we got over here? What else we got? Let me add them. Let me add them. All right. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. Let's see. Oh, we got some requests here. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. All right. Let's take a look over here. Somebody requested ONDS. ONDS. Let's take a look at ONDS. Hold on. ONDS. Let's take a look at this stunk right here. Looks like trash. Okay, got it. It does look like trash. A lot of indecisive wicks. Moving its way on down. Needs to curl its way on up. Then it basically just comes over here. Has this little consolidation. Cannot break above this line. Drops below the VWAP. Tries to go up a little bit. And then just has all these little descending wedges and other little things here. Not a lot of volume. Some lines of barcoding actually. ONDS up 1%. 1%. ONDS barcoding and low on volume. Low on volume with ONDS. Not looking too schmexy right now. Not looking too schmexy there. Let's take a look at what else we got over here. What else we got? Let's take a look at AXIL. AXIL trying to curl its way on up a little bit. Trying to curl its way on up just a bit. Just a bit right now. It is trying to curl its way on up. I'm going to give it credit where credit's due. It's trying to curl its way on up. Did have a nice high of 185%. So it did have that high. So I can give it some credit there. And it is trying to curl its way on up right now. It is trying to curl its way on up right now. Let's see what goes on. AXIL. AXIL. Curling its way on up. Needs to break that VWAP. All right, needs some volume to break that VWAP right there. All right, Bobo Beebs asked for CETX. CETX. Let's take a look at CETX. All right, CETX as of now is moving its way on up. Moving its way on up over here, right? And then it starts to move downward and consolidate right around here. So as of now, let's get some support and resistance lines over here. This stonk currently is... Oh, let me actually bring it all the way back to here. There we go. So, as of now, this stonk is currently not looking too schmexy in my opinion. Not too schmexy yet. It needs some serious volume to break through that VWAP over here. Because right now it is currently independent. It did fall below the VWAP right over here. Has to hold above 422. Needs to break through 441. After that, has to break through the VWAP at 450. Then 459, 483, and then 520. For it to be somewhat schmexy to me. So CETX, as of now, needs to break above that area. So CETX needs to break the VWAPA and the pennant. As of now, for it to be so much schmexy to me, needs some serious volume right there for it to be so much schmexy to me. So that's what we got going on for CETX. CETX. Rahum asks for AXIL again. AXIL, let's take a look. AXIL, all right. So as of now, AXIL was moving up a little bit and then kind of started to fall back down. So as of now, it's kind of formed more of a pennant right over here rather than anything else. Needs to break above that pennant and needs to break this VWAP right over here. Let me actually get some support and resistance lines over here for this stonk. Right over here. Bop right there. And bop right there. Okay, so as of now, with this stonk, you got support at 995. Actually, no, excuse me. You got support at 876. Then you got resistance at 995. Then you got more resistance over here at 1061, which is where the VWAP is. Then you got more resistance at 1114. You got some customized resistance that I put over here at 1206 all the way to around 1210. Then you got more resistance at 1261 and $15. So as of now, AXIL has a ways to go. Has to break above that VWAP though. Has to break out of the pennant. Has to break above that VWAP. AXIL needs to break the pennant because it is a little bit consolidated, a little bit, right? And needs to break that VWAP for it to be so much schmexy to mya. All right, and even then has to still do some climbing after that. All right, so it's got that going on right there. That is what it's got going on. Koshin Jama asks for ACIU. Let's take a look at ACIU. ACIU, let's take a look over here. All right, so ACIU up 17%. Has news that AC Immune shares are trading higher after the company announced interim safety and efficacy results from the phase 2 vaccine trial of its wholly owned anti-alpha synuclein, active immunotherapy ACI 7104056 in early Parkinson's disease. So these guys are trying to treat Parkinson's as of now. So that's what they got going on right now. That's what their news is so far. So they have news. They have news. That is a catalyst right there. But the only thing is, as of now, ACIU needs to break this little pennant right over here, because right now it went up. It had a nice little shot upward, gapped up over here, and then climbed slowly but surely a little bit over here, bop, right there, and then basically proceeded to go back down, dropped, fell over here, and then proceeded to climb up slowly and kind of started consolidating just below the VWAP. So as of now, let's get some support and resistance lines over here. Bop right here and bop right there. We got over here that this stonk has to hold above 301. That's the support line. Has to break through 333, 355, and then 374, which is where the VWAP is, 377, 405, and then 449 for it to really be Shmexy to Mya. But as of now, ACIU needs to break that pennant and also needs to break that VWAP. All right. It does have some good news, though. It does have news. Let's take a look at the float and volume for the stonk. Float is 47.5 million. All right. So as of now, the float is 47.5 million. A little bit heavy. Volume is only 12.1 million. So as of now, this stonk still has a ways to go, ladies and gentlemen. Still has a ways to go. It is low float, heavy float, low volume over here. So that's what they got going on. But they do have good news. So it needs to break above this pennant, needs to break the pennant, and needs to break that VWAP. ACIU. ACIU. All right. Needs volume to break the pennant and the VWAP. Let's get a share party going on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 1200. 1200, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Let's get to 1200, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Come on now. All right, let's take a look at JZXN. JZXN came in on my radar a little bit. Has unconfirmed H1 earnings due in 12 days from now on to Tuesday, December 23rd, before the market open. So it's got that going on right there. This is Juicy Holdings Inc. Juicy Holdings. Yep, Juicy Holdings Inc. right here. And this stock looks to be a China stock. China. You know what I mean? China. So as of now, because there's a China stock right here, it is a bit iffy in my opinion, because the China stocks, they tend to go up, then they tend to go down, then they tend to go in circles, and then they tend to go around. It's a whole thing. So, as of now, has to break through here. Has a bit of a pennant formed right over here. Needs to break above this pennant, but doesn't look like it's going to be doing that right now. So we'll see what happens. But as of now, it is in my opinion. JZXN, a little bit choppy. So JZXN, choppy. Needs volume. It is sometimes it's popping above the VWAP and other times it's not. Needs volume to break that pennant, because it is also consolidated right there a little bit and then just proceeds to just go. It just goes everywhere. So there we go. It's just doing its thing right there. JZXN. All right, let's take a look at another one. Let's take a look at another stonk over here. Let's take a look at another stonk. All right. Let's see over here. All right. Let's take a look at PETS. Somebody requested PETS. Let's take a look at PETS. All right. PETS, as of now, still is right over here. It bounced off this little area of support. It fell below it a little bit, bounced off it once again, and is still kind of consolidated between 234 and 253. So it's got a bit of a channel time going on. Channel time. It's channel time. All right, right there. So PETS, as of now, right over here, boom and boom, has a bit of a channel going on over here between 234 and 253. Has to break through that channel. PETS is in that channel right now, so not looking too schmexy as of now. We'll see what happens later, but right now, PETS needs to break the channel. So we need that to go there. All right. And Oh, we got a new request. Thank you, MIGI, please. Of course, our pleasure, man. Let's take a look at MIGI. MIGI. All right, so MIGI as of now, this stunk is currently moving its way on up right here. So, well, actually, it was moving its way on up. So let me elaborate. First things first, let's get a support and resistance line over here. So we got support over here, bop right here, all the way to resistance over there, bop right there. Okay, so we got support at the as of current, the support is at 825. So it's got 825 over here for support. Needs to break through the 878 mark for resistance. Has the VWAP at 904 over here. Has more resistance at 931, then 997, and then finally 1104. So as of now, this stock is currently not looking too schmexy at the moment. It did have its time in the sun. MIGI looks like it had its time in the sun for a while, but then kind of just went back down. So it also looks like it could potentially, maybe, possibly, maybe have a bit of a shoulder, head, and shoulder. So it has a shoulder over here, bop right there, a head over here, bop right, hold on, bop right there, okay? And then another shoulder right over here, around this area, you know? So it could be that as well. Has a bit of a couple of tops here. So a couple of double tops over here. So it's got that going on as well. Needs to break above the VWAPA for it to really be schmexy to me. Hold on, let me stretch. Ooh, that's a good stretch right there. Ooh! All right, so MIGI, as of now, needs to break above these points of resistance. These points of resistance are crucial for it to break through. Otherwise, it's not really going to be too schmexy, in my opinion. Otherwise, it's not going to be too schmexy. But that's my opinion right there, ladies and gentlemen. This is not stock or financial advice. But as of now, this stock needs to hold above 825, needs to break through 878, and then needs to break through 904 for it to be somewhat schmexy to meh. Otherwise, it's just not looking too schmexy right there. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be looking too schmexy. So, as of now, MIGI is currently not looking too schmexy over here. Not looking too schmexy. We'll have to see what goes on with it. We will have to see what goes on with it. But right now, MIGI needs some volume. That's really all I can say about it here, is that it just needs volume to break through the VWAP and break through that head and shoulders pattern. MIGI needs volume to break the head and shoulders pattern over here for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. All right, so let's see what else we got. All right, let's take a look at ASST. That was a crowd favorite. ASST. Let's take a look. ASST down 4%. Very choppy, indecisive. Not a lot of volume. ASST not needs volume. Very choppy. There we go. All right, let's take a look at BYND. BYND also very choppy. Form a channel, not looking too schmexy as of now. BYND needs volume. Very choppy. All right, let's take a look at OPEN. OPEN, that was another crowd favorite. OPEN, and not looking too schmexy as of now. On a bit of a downtrend, and to top it off, barcoding, not looking too good there. OPEN also needs volume. OPEN also needs volume. Needs volume to break the barcoding and the downtrend as of now. So we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on for OPEN. Rahum says LGHL announces acquisition of Bitcoin following the subsequent closing under 600 million facility. Okay, so as of now, LGHL, Lion Group Holding Inc. Limited, has apparently announced an acquisition of Bitcoin following a subsequent closing under $600 million facility. All right, so they got that going on right there. As of now with LGHL, it is very, very choppy, very, very consolidated, and not looking too schmexy. Look at all these indecisive wicks over here. So Not looking good there, but it is above the VWAP. I'll give it that. It is above the VWAP, but it is not looking too schmexy and not looking too safe to trade, in my opinion. In my opinion, again, that's my opinion. Let's get some support and resistance lines right over here. Support at bot over here. Support at $4.04. That is the absolute support. Resistance at, right? But as of now, this stock is currently at $4.30. Has to hold above 428. Needs to break through 436. Then break through the VWAP at 440. And then break through 444, 453, 468. And that's if it gets volume. It's very, very choppy, very, very indecisive. Not my cup of tea. I am not a big fan of it personally as of now. You know, could it become schmexy in the future? Maybe. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But LGHL needs volume. Very choppy. Needs to break VWAP as well. So it needs to do all those things. Very, very choppy. Not a lot of, candles. It's more so just wicks. And I'm not feeling that, ladies and gentlemen. Not feeling that. That one I am not feeling. All right, let's take a look at what other stonks. Let's see what else we got. Somebody requested NXDR. Let's take a look at NXDR. NXDR up 18% as of now, but it is below the VWAP. Below the VWAP right now. It is below the VWAP. So it is moving on downward over here. It needs to break this downtrend and needs to break that VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Not a lot of volume going on here. Let's take a look at the float. Float is 229.6 million. Volume is 7.3 million, ladies and gentlemen. So that's not looking schmexy to me. James Vincent says, how do I get into the Discord? Oh, yeah, here you go, man. Here you go. Click the link in the description over here, as well as the pinned comment section that I put right over here. But for it to be somewhat, to check it out. I almost said for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. I've been saying that so much today, so bear with me there. But yes, so click that link over there to get the 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. That is how you join the Discord, the private Discord, ladies and gentlemen, and especially you, James. Yes, sir. There you go, man. So be sure to check that out. That's how you join the Discord right there. That's how you join the Discord. So let's take a look at the float. The float of this stock is 229.6 million, which is very, very heavy. Very heavy in terms of float. Volume is 7.3 million. So not looking too schmexy there in terms of that. A little bit heavy, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit heavy there. So as of now, NXDR is a very heavy stock. Not looking too schmexy. Is on a downtrend. Needs to break that downtrend and needs to break above the VWAP. Heavy float. Low volume. You know how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. NXDR. Heavy float. And low volume. Needs to break the downtrend. All right. For it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Needs to break the downtrend and the VWAP. The VWAP. Yes. So, got that going on right there. NXDR. There we go. All right. So, let's take a look at some other stonks. What else we got? Let me add them. All right. Let's get a share party going on, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 1,700. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, remember that if you want access to our private Discord, you get a 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comments section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let's take a look at ATPC. How's ATPC doing? ATPC did have a nice run up 185%, but as of now is kind of going down, and it is kind of just going downward now. But let's take a look over here. Looks like it's trying to curl its way on up. Can it remain friends with the trend? Has to break through that VWAP, which is all the way up here at 14 cents. As of now, it's at 12 cents, so it needs to keep climbing its way on up for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. ATPC still below the VWAP. It needs to climb up to break that. ATPC needs to keep climbing on that uptrend to break the VWAP for it to be so much maxi to mya. There we go. All right. So, has to break through that VWAP, man. Has to break through it right there. Let's see what else we got over here. What else do we got? What else we got? BTTC. Let's see how BTTC is doing. I think BTTC has since went down a little bit. Yeah, it started consolidating a little bit more. But it did have a nice run, man. It did have a nice time in the sun. It's starting to kind of consolidate a bit more. It's no longer overbought. It's more so just like indifferent on the RSI. And it is starting to kind of converge a bit more with 90 MA and the VWAP. So it's got that going on. It does have that going on right there. So as of now with this stunk, it had its time in the sun. Can it curl? Maybe. We'll have to see. It depends on volume, man. But the float was 4 million. Volume is 25 million. So we got that going on. Let's take a look over here. All right. Has to break above this little area right over. Yeah. Has to break above this little pennant right here. Has to hold at 861, has to hold above that, break through 988, and then break through 1193 for it to continue to be so much schmexy to me. Right now, it is still above the VWAP, though, so that's good. That's good. Can it curl? Maybe. We'll see what happens. Has to break above 988 and then the 1193 for it to be so much schmexy to me. So, that's what it's got going on. BTTC needs to break the pennant. That's what it needs to do as of now. BTTC needs to break the pennant and resistance. Yeesh. So that's what it needs to do right there. Bop, right there. All right. Let's see what else we got. All right. Somebody requested RKLB. I'm pretty sure it's a heavy stock in terms of price, RKLB. Because, I mean, it is like $60 or almost close to it. Yeah, 57.48. Very heavy, down 0.17% right there. Not looking too schmexy. But it looks like it's very, very choppy, which implies to me that it's got very low volume, very high float. Not looking too schmexy there. We'll see what happens. Let's take a look at RKLB's float and volume. Float is 472.8 million. Oof, not looking too schmexy there. Volume is 583.4 thousand. So yeah, that's not looking good right there. Very, very heavy float, very low volume. I'll give it credit where credit's due. Sorry about that. Thank you. I will give credit where credit's due. It did move up a little bit, but again, it's not looking too schmexy. It's one of those stocks where it's very expensive, very heavy float, very low volume, not looking too good. A lot of gappiness to it. A lot of unpredictability to the stunk. Not looking too schmexy, in my opinion. I mean, I'll give it credit. It is on an uptrend on some low volume right now, but it's down 0.03%. Not looking too schmexy there. So, RKLB, as of now, not looking schmexy. Expensive, too. RKLB. Expensive. Very low volume. Moving up on very low volume. Moving up on very low volume. Moving up on some very low volume, but still not schmexy to me, honestly. I kind of, if I'm being honest, and you know, I'd be remiss if I wasn't honest. It kind of looks like trash. I'm just saying. But that's
40 seconds to the bell.
40 seconds to the bell. The bell. It deafens me. That was some Quasimodo right there. A little bit of Quasimodo. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash. The moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see what we got going on over here. All right. Let's see here.
The
Ooh,
bell.
the bell. It goes ringy dingy. It made the wee woo. Yes, sir. There we go. There we go. There's the bell. There's the bell. There it is. There's the bell. There's the beef. There's the beef right there. Yes, sir. All right. RKLB. Yeah, still trash. Anyway, doesn't matter what you do. You can put lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig. Anyways, let's see. All right. Anyways, let's take a look at the stonks here. Let's take a look at BTTC. How's BTTC doing? Let's take a look at BTTC. BTTC, yeah, it's doing its thing right there, slowly but surely. All right, still needs to break that pennant. CGTL, CGTL. How's CGTL looking? How is CGTL? It's only up 1%. Not looking too schmexy there. All right, hold on. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second right there. 1 second. 1 second. All right. Somebody requested IRBT, iRobot. I know iRobot's been moving quite a bit. As of now, though, it is a bit sporadic. All right. IRBT, as of now, sporadic, very choppy. Sporadic and choppy as of now. Needs volume. Let's take a look at WSHP. WSHP has WSHP moving. Up 46%, but a lot of indecisive wicks, not a lot of volume. WSHP. WSHP. Low volume. Not schmexy. Low volume and choppy. Not looking too schmexy there. WSHP. Not looking too schmexy. Let's take a look at BTTC. Right there. La-da-da-dee-dum. La-dum. All right. Let's see here. All right, so let's take a look at BTC. BTC. And still going back down. BTTC is still going back down. It's still going down. Fell below the VWAP. Needs to break above the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. But BTTC had its time in the sun. Ran up a nice 247%. So we got that going on right there. BTTC needs to break the VWAP once again. No longer schmexy to me. What have you done for me lately, BTTC? I know you had a run. I know you had to run 247%, but what have you done for me lately? Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 2100. Let's get to 2100, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see what other stonks we got going on here. What other stonks do we have? All right. Let's take a look over here. Let's see. As of now, let's take a look at PETS. PETS. Currently, this stock is... it's climbed up a little bit. A little teeny tiny bit. Temporarily broke through the little containment I had here. The channel that I had here. So now it looks like it's trying to curl its way back up. Has Q2 earnings that are unconfirmed, due in 12 days on December 23rd. We'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens. But as of now, this stock needs volume. Needs some serious volume for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. But right now, it's just not doing its thing right here. Still consolidated, though. But trying to climb slowly but surely. So, PETS with its 15 million float, 17 million volume. So the volume is a bit higher than the float, which is good, but again, needs more volume. PETS needs more volume. Needs more volume to break the Consolidation. All right. All right, let's take a look. They halted BTTC, really? Yeah, it does look like BTTC has been halted. All right. I mean, again, BTTC had some good news, though, and had a nice run up 247%. But as of now, I mean, it's kind of going back down here, so not looking too schmexy to me. Not looking too schmexy to me right there. It is below the VWAP. Can it curl? Maybe, but again, I think it has time in the sun as of now. So, BTTC has news that Black Titan shares are trading higher after the company unveiled its Digital Asset Treasury Plus framework and launched Pillar 1, focused on utility-driven digital asset deployment and cash flow potential. So it's got that going on right there, and went up as high as 247%. All right, we called it earlier on the stream. We called it for the private Discord as well, and it ran up a nice 247%. You guys saw it with your own eyes. I'm just saying we're just made different. We're just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. You know how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. So as of now, with this stock, not looking too schmexy to me. Not looking schmexy. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 2,300. Let's get to 2,300, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. But yeah, as of now, BTTC is doing its thing right now. Let's take a look at PETS. How's PETS looking? PETS. All right, there we go. Starting to climb its way back up a little bit. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, we called the stunk a little bit earlier. It's starting to climb its way on up a little bit, slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Had to break through the channel. Now it broke through the channel, broke through the consolidation. Now it needs more volume because it looks like it's starting to get a little bit of doubt here. Needs to remain friends with that trend right there. Needs to remain friends with the trend. PETS needs to remain friends with the trend right here. So PETS, as of now, needs to remain friends with the trend. Needs to remain friends with the uptrend for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. But otherwise, not looking schmexy. Otherwise, it'd be like that. So we'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens. As of now, though, PETS needs some volume to climb back up, but right now it's just falling below. So not looking good there. Not looking too good right there. We'll see what happens with it. PETS, we'll see what happens. We shall see, we shall see, we shall see. But right now, it's kind of indecisive. So we'll see what happens there. Has to remain friends with the trend, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like it's trying to climb back up. There we go. Slowly but surely, it is climbing back up. It's testing the resistance at 271. Testing that resistance at 271 right there. So we'll see what happens there. It is testing that resistance at 271. So let's see here. PETS. Testing the resistance for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. Testing the resistance. Testing the resistance right there. PETS. There we go. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So we got PETS testing the resistance right there. Testing the resistance. The resistance right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And looks like it's trying to climb its way on up. We'll see what happens. Somebody requested Poet. P-O-E-T. Poet. Let's take a look at Poet. Down 0.7%. Looks like trash. Got you. All right. So as of now, Poet looks like garbage. I mean, it's got a little bit of a movement up here, if you could even call that a movement up or an uptrend. I mean, it did have a slight movement up, dropped down, came back up a little bit, but as of now, not looking schmexy. A lot of indecisive wicks. Let's take a look at the float and volume for this stock. Float is 131.3 million, which is a very heavy float. Volume is 953.1 thousand, so very low on volume. Needs a lot of volume for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. All right. Needs a lot of volume for it to be somewhat schmexy to me right there. Let's take a look at Poet. Poet, P-O-E-T, needs volume. Needs a lot of volume, actually. Needs a lot of volume. Not looking schmexy. Not looking good. Not looking good. Very choppy. Look at that. Popped and then dropped. Not looking schmexy. Looks like trash. Poet. Looks like garbage. Very bearish chart here. All right. So let's see what else we got. What else we got? Let me add them. Let me add them. All right. Let's take a look at NXDR. NXDR. Somebody requested that stunk. Let's take a look at it. NXDR did have a nice move upward. Let's see what we got going on here. I mean, we did say that it has to break through this downtrend for it to curl up. It did. It broke through the downtrend, broke through the VWAP, moved its way on up over here. Now it's kind of made itself a bit overbought in the RSI. So now it's kind of trying to compensate for that right now. A little bit of the sneefles, ladies and gentlemen, right there. All right, has to break this pennant for it to be so much mexy to me. NXDR. NXDR needs to break the pennant. Needs to break the pennant over here. Is a bit overbought on the RSI, so it needs to fix that as well. As of now, this stock is up 32%. Needs to break that pennant for it to continue to be so much maxi to me. NXDR needs to break the pennant. All right, so it did have a nice move up. It looks like it's trying to climb up even more. Up 35%. Up 35%. All right. Matter of fact, you know what? But it is forming a top tail. We don't like the top tails. We like the bottom tails. We like them bottom tails. All right, let's take a look at SMX. SMX choppy but climbing. SMX, very, very expensive stock. Stayed being expensive as far as I remember. SMX, very, very expensive stock. Moving its way on up slowly but surely. I don't normally call or look at expensive stocks normally, but this one is moving a bit. Looks like it's moving on some low volume too, if you really look at it over here. Let's take a look at the float and volume. Let's take a look at the news over here. SMX cracked the textile code, and it changes everything about the global supply chain and demonstrates end-to-end breakthrough in cotton traceability. Proves ability to verify origin and recycled content from mechanical recycling through yarn spinning and finished fabric. Okay, so it's got that going on right there. Let's take a look at the float. Float is 1.05 million. Volume is still low at 248,000. So SMX moving up on low float as of now. SMX moving up on low float. SMX expensive and moving up on low float. Low volume, excuse me. Low volume. All right. Let's take a look at WBY. WBY has been a bit of a popular stonk as of late. A little bit popular. A little bit of popularity. All right. Never a bad thing. You know what I mean? Up 32% as of now. WBY up 30% actually. All right. Had a bit of a move over here. Needs to break through this little pennant over here. Right there. Bop. Right there. And there. All right. Has to break above that pennant for it to be so much mexy to me. WBUY up 30% right now. So we'll see what happens there. WBUY needs to break the pennant for it to be so much mexy to me. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what it needs to do right there. Let's get a share party going on. Let's get to 2700. 2700, ladies and gentlemen. And be sure to check out our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comments section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, ATPC, we called earlier this morning for our private Discord, and it ran up a nice 185% after we called it for the private Discord. All right, we called WOK up 54%. AXIL called that one as well for the private Discord, and it ran up a nice 185%. BTTC, that stunk, we called for the private Discord, and then we also called it on stream, and it ran up on stream 247%. So that was a nice little high for it. James Vincent says they let it go 1 minute later, halted again. Yeah, they're going to mess around with it a little bit. Yeah, a lot of these stocks have been getting messed around with a little bit in terms of just like being halted. It's been getting crazy as of late. Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's what we got going on, folks. That's what we got going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, folks. Sharing is caring. And of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. So, yeah. As of now, you guys get the real-time alerts over here. With the real-time alerts and scanners, you get access to these amazing scanners right over here with the ticker, price, volume, float, change, and percentage, the time in which it was scanned, whether it's moving up or down. And to top it off, you get little hyperlinks that basically show you the news. It shows you the charts for these stocks, etc., etc., etc. It's amazing, so be sure to check that out. We also got over here the newsroom, these are both wonderful, wonderful tools for research in terms of the stock market and things of that nature. They have hyperlinks to the articles, a synopsis of said articles, and the tickers that are actually affected by the news within said articles. That also have hyperlinks to the tickers that gives you access to their charts, their news, their volume, their price, their float, their stock, etc. It gives you access to all that. And to top it off, you get access to an amazing and educational community of wonderful people in the indelible patrons, ladies and gentlemen, the indelibles, yes. So, yeah, you get all that cool stuff there if you check out that link and join our private Discord today. You know what I mean? You get all that for the first 4 days, $9.99, right? And then after that, yeah, you want to keep it? Boom, you got it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you got that going on there. We also have the ticker tape, which has wonderful tickers that are just popping up. We check out the ones that are moving up extremely well, and we just, go from there. So we got that going on there. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we have our wonderful, wonderful wealth builders, which is basically giving you access to not just the everything that you get with the real-time alerts and scanners, as well as the wonderful community there, that is educational and fun. All right, and also, pretty much everybody likes to build each other up, etc. But you also get access to exclusive Wealth Builder content, exclusive Wealth Builder educational course. You get access to the exclusive Wealth Builders picks. You get access to the exclusive Wealth Builders chat, which has the Wealth Builders community, which is another very supportive and educational community. And to top it off, you also get access to Coach Nick Money and myself directly. So, yeah, you get all that and more, plus behind the scenes footage and content. And to top it off, you also get access to scripts and other things like that. So yeah, be sure to check all that stuff out, ladies and gentlemen. Much love. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Make a lot of money. Be greenable. Remember, indelibles, you are indelible. Leave your mark, because it's one of a kind. It's indelible. All right? And yeah, that's pretty much it for me there. Be sure to check us out on our YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe at Coach Nick Money. At Coach Nick Money. There we go. And be sure to check out our X.com, aka Twitter, at Coach Nick Money. At Coach Nick Money, both of which we do lots of live streams, stock analysis, and other things like that. With YouTube, we do lots of shorts as well. So be sure to check that out there. Be sure to check us out on Twitch at Coach Nick Money. At Coach Nick Money, where we do lots of live streaming there. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Coach Nick Money. At Coach Nick Money. Find us on TikTok, Tiki Taki, aka the Tac Tac. The Tac Tac. You can find us there at DBL Nicks. At DBL NICKS, and the screen name is Coach Nick Money. Yes, sir. We do lots of shorts there as well. So that's what we got going on, folks. Much love. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. And peace out, everybody. Peace out. Let's see. Oh, before we go, let me take a look at BTTC, because BTTC is now doing stuff. All right, it's just curling its way back.